Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow, where my character, Malice, has arrived at the mansion itself, within Scarlet Hollow, taken there by her cousin, whose name will appear later on in the story again. Although her cousin has gone off to work in the mine, of which that side of the family still owns, leaving us to our own devices. In the meantime, though, before I get started, I'd like to make a couple corrections. The first is I feel like I was under the impression that Abby Howard is more of like a contributing writer and artist to this game, which is technically false, because the game is made by Black Tabby Games, and Black Tabby Games is co-owned by Abby Howard along with her husband, Tony Howard Arias, or Arias. I apologize for pronouncing that name wrong several times. So yeah, she is a co-owner of the company. I blame the Steam page, actually, on that part. Like, the Steam page describes it as Episode 1 as a horror mystery game with a dark humor and hand-drawn art from award-winning graphic novelist Abby Howard. Which, I would imagine it would be something that you'd want to put forward, but for some reason my head did not connect that she was also working... that she also owned that company. But let us begin. Within this decrepit estate. Go straight to the forbidden wings of the estate. No, we're not. We had peanuts. Do we need more peanut? Let's go settle into our room. Or should we have a PB&J? Or might as well go... Let's settle into our room, because the explore options allow us to do things without the story progressing. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. Oh, alright, let's see. Take a nap. Well, I did get some sleep on the bus, though it was interrupted by talking guy. Put your spare clothes in the dresser, check the closet, and we'll leave the closet alone. Examine the painting on the wall. This must be an old relative of yours. Very old, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago. So that's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha, who is your cousin, and I remembered that name right from the beginning of this video, about this Maribel Scarlet, the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. She wasn't quite in the mood for conversation at all. Shall we look out the window? You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the bird song. Yeah, you definitely do that, just not right now. Let's put the spare clothes in the dresser. Oh my gosh, it's a possum. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer, and a possum lurks within. It is quiet, but angry. Oh, pardon me. You gently close the drawer, leaving the marsupial in peace. This drawer belongs to the opossum, and there's nothing you can do about it. You open the chop drawer next. It's empty, as good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd have been better off keeping your clothes in your nice, clean bag. But there's no going back now. Yeah, that's enough. It doesn't seem like there's much for you to do here right now. Shall we get a PB&J? Yeah. The only things you've had to eat in the past 8 hours were those boiled peanuts you got from that strange young man on the bus. Suffice to say, you're still hungry, and a PB&J sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task, given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, bread, plates, and a knife. So Fro apparently will only let you pet her if she wants it. If she does not want to be pet, you cannot. So we're not going to do that. Let's search the fridge. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. Examine old takeouts. It's probably nasty. Oof. Why did you do that? What were you expecting? This takeout container is disgusting beyond words. A liquefied mess, wholly congealed in its styrofoam shell. You can't even tell what it used to be. This substance doesn't just smell bad, it smells ancient. For God's sake, put it back. Your body reacts before you even register what you're doing, compelled by a deep primal disgust. You shove the container back in the fridge, pushing it into the depths of the shelves and out of your mind. Hopefully you can forget it exists and move on with your life. Let's take the jelly. You reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief when you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen Tabitha actually uses. All you need now is a plate, knife, bread, and some peanut butter. Better close the fridge and keep looking. Close the fridge. You close the kitchen. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. Let's search the pantry. Is that a dead mouse? That is a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese. And Jif peanut butter. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. Look closer. You squint into the darkness of the pantry. Behind the molded bread, a single book lies forgotten, a thin layer of dust collected on its cover. You pick it up. You flip to a bookmarked page. Both calf's brain and aspic are unappetizing enough on their own, and you can only imagine how vile the combination of the two would be. What kind of person would call this their favorite food? No wonder your mom ran far, far away from this place. You shut the book and put it back in its place. Let's take the bread. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great. One step closer to a satisfying snack. All you need now is plate, knife, some peanut butter. I will take the peanut butter. The king of nut butters, and only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroaches. Close the pantry. So now we need a knife and a plate. Let's search the cabinets. This cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware, and oddly enough, the utensils. Let's see. Let's examine the mug. It reads, I was blown away at Blowing Rock, North Carolina. So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. It might be nice to see the local sights before heading home. Let's examine the shot glass. It reads, I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Perlan. So this wasn't from her 50th. From the few stories you'd heard from your mom, Perlan wasn't the type to have kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. Maybe it belongs to Janie. You imagine she might need an alcoholic beverage to get through cleaning this place, especially with Tabitha's sour face peering over her shoulder. Let us grab a plate and a butter knife. This is a process. It's a process to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This is the last ingredient you need to make your PB&J. Time to get to work. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. Let us make the PB&J. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations, you can feed yourself. A job well done. Ah, achievement unlocked. I cooked a PB&J. Cooked. That probably shows how much cooking I do. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. Let's check out the garden. The garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. You don't think you want to go out there after all. Are you even up to date on your tetanus shots? You close the door behind you and return to the kitchen. Alright, we're done here. Congratulations, you've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? Might as well go head into town. There's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you'd have known you'd end up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of that tension. Though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Probably not. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. Let's continue. It's really pretty out there. Hold on. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. Yeah, and then there's the general store, the town hall. Maybe it's a book place. Or maybe these are actually just beefy arms on the sides, so you could work out. And it has books and working out. And a miner. Okay. The Holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. Considering the fact that, like, one of the main houses is boarded up and the windows are broken. Yeah. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Ah, doggo! Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Mothman! Go cryptids. A pug, she's so cute. I love pugs, she's so cute. Which is true. Look at that face. Thanks, she is cute. Sure, most of her teeth have fallen out and she's got a couple of weird growths, But for a 17-year-old pug, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. That's amazing. 17, that's incredible. It sure is. I'm hoping she beats the current record holder and makes it to 19. Or better yet, 20. The more time we get together, the better. Isn't that right, Gretch? But what am I doing? I got caught up in the excitement of meeting someone new that I entirely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? I'm gonna tell the truth. I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm Malice. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? That's the only person I can think of who would come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her all alone up in that big house. I'm sorry, did you say Tabby? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so bubbly. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. I don't think she's doing too well. She's been icy, but it feels like she's putting it on as a front. She's always been a little rough around the edges. To be honest, it's always been hard to tell if that's just the way she is or if she's just been putting on an act her whole life. To think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying up there, even if she doesn't think so herself. Thanks for letting me know, by the way. How long have you known her? Oh, quite a long time. The town's really small, so everybody's known everybody else as far back as they can remember. Tabby and I got little close when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck and she was Mustard Seed. I actually have no knowledge of the play, so I'm sure that might have some meaning. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. Yeah. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Let's save our game. Should I introduce myself? I'll introduce myself. Everybody seems to be staring at me. Hey everyone, I'm Malice, just in town for the funeral. Before anyone can respond, you and Stella casually slide into a booth, pretending the whole town didn't just gawk at you like a sideshow attraction. Looks like your entrance was a little more dramatic than you were expecting, huh? Folks around here don't meet many strangers as is, and with you're related to, well, let's just say you'll be the talk of the town for a while. As you settle into the booth, you can't help but pick up some of the murmurs of conversation around you. Stella pets Gretchen while you take a quick look around the diner. At the counter, two policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances your direction while whispering to each other. Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet her. Looks so much like her. Oh yes. Those eyes are unmistakable, that haunted look. I've always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That's Miss Tabitha's cousin. Oh, so that's why she looks so sad. I would look sad too if I had to have Miss Tabitha as a cousin. Do you think Tabitha's cousin is mean too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go visit Miss Tabitha. Are you gonna finish your pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea, and we've got to and we've got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table, sipping coffee and reading a paper. Why are the strangers who wander into town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always coal boys, punks, and whippersnappers? Lastly, a group of coal miners sit hunched around the corner booth, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. So that's the boss's cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right, for old Miss Pertland. May she rot in peace. I don't know why I gave him like a Cockney accent. Oh, let the lady rest, Lloyd. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were, especially before they've been so much as laying to rest. If you'd been around here in our heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Tommy. He's right, nastiest woman I ever met. That Tabitha is a blessing compared to her. Curse the whole lot of them. May every scarlet burn in hell. That's enough of that. Hey, Stella. I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Is it for the pug? Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Anything for you? Is bacon bad for dogs? I don't know. But this little fella is 17 years old. How much is the coffee? $1, but that gets you unlimited refills. I'll have a cup. I already ate, but I can drink. Sweet, I'll have a cup, thanks. No problem. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. Actually, didn't she say that she was buying? They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. Before you have a chance to respond, they're gone. Should have gone for the biscuit. They're really good, but I guess you've got all week. Maybe you'll get one tomorrow. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. Also, before I repronounce that, because I really screwed that one up. I just realized this game takes place... this game is 7 episodes long. I have a feeling that this is going to be 1 episode per day, because you're here for a week. But let's keep going and see whether or not that's accurate. It's the Holler Picayune. So anyway, that is a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. Sounds neat. Maybe I'll check some of these things out. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Some things tells me this is a loaded question, and you've got something in mind. Was I being that obvious? My job means I spend a lot of time in the woods with the camera, and it's always better when someone else is there too. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Hey, Winnie wanted to give you a biscuit. On the house. She sends her condolences. I'm gonna I'm gonna go with you didn't have to do that. Aw, you didn't have to do that. It looks great. No worries. I hope you enjoy it. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended and a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa, this is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not gonna go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm gonna do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. Well then. What kind of videos do you do? Cool, what kind of videos do you do? She hunts cryptids. You should really check out her channel, Malice. It's amazing. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Katabi River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River. And that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in the river. Some folks said it was a beaver. But if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've ever seen. I also had people saying it was a dog, or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. Oh, despite the shaky camera footage, you can clearly make out the shape of a creature's head and its relative body proportions. You're pretty sure that it's a mountain lion. I think that's a mountain lion. Can't you see its little kitty cat ears? No way. It's absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found Jack Squat. And there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body is too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Exactly, some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along. It's a pretty easy one this week. We shouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm going to go after the... Wait, no spoilers. Whoops, sorry, Avery. It's okay. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after the skunk ape. What's skunk ape? It's like Bigfoot, but smellier. Alright. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck playing tug-of-war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? You want to tag along? I think this is where I'm going to stop for the night. Got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have yourselves a good night.